Hi parents and families, I just wanted to give you a little bit of guidance on how we help children develop and learn in their maths learning. A lot of children are able to count to 3 or 5 or 10, which is fantastic. Of course we would love the children to do that, but children counting to 10 is actually similar to them learning a song or a rhyme. They're learning those numbers by rote. What we need to try and help them with is really understanding what those numbers mean. So we encourage children to start with just numbers to 3, learning the concept of what 3 actually is. Then they could move on to 5, and then they could move on to 10. We would encourage children to count much further beyond 10. That's fantastic. But when we're actually learning about the numbers and the value of number, we stick to just working with numbers to 10. Even if they're quite confident to go above that. We want to broaden their understanding, deepen their understanding of their numbers to 10. So just a few examples of the way that we could do that. We would love the children to be able to use one-to-one correspondence when they're counting. So this means actually touching or pointing to the objects as they count them. So if they were counting these, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'd actually get them to go 1, 2, 3. So it might be that they use their counting finger or their pointing finger. It might be that you encourage them to actually touch the objects. It might be that you encourage your child to just slow down and say the numbers as they point to them. Do it together if they find it tricky. Obviously you can model it for them. Something that they also might find a bit tricky, if they've got more objects, they might attempt to count the objects like this, which is a bit tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't remember which ones you've counted. So we always try and encourage them to line them up or place them out so it's easier for them to count. So we point and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we call one-to-one correspondence. Something else that's a really good thing that they could practice. If there's a big group of objects like this, or it could be even more objects, you don't need to worry about how many there are. It's a really good skill for children to be able to give you the number that you say. So if you say to the children, can you give me 2? They need to be able to count 1, 2. Often you'll see, can you give me 2? And they go 1, 2. So great, they've counted to 2, but they still need support with their understanding of what 2 actually is. So that's a big difference. So a big group of objects, give me 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another great skill for your children to practice. If your children are quite confident with that, brilliant. Another thing that we would be working on with your children if we were at nursery is having maybe our line of 10, if they're confident with that. So checking that they can count with their one-to-one correspondence. And then we might be saying, what if there was 1 less? So we're introducing simple subtraction or simple addition. So 1 less or 1 more. So if we started with 10 and we said, what's 1 less than 10? We can physically take 1 away. So we're teaching them that less is take away. Less means the number of our group is going to get smaller. We could also do it with our hands. So 1 less than 10 is 9. If we had this many objects here, we could say to them, what's 1 less than 6? So they've got to try and take 1 away. We could also say, what's 1 more than 6? So if we're introducing the word more, we're adding 1 more. Our group is getting bigger. Please don't worry about this if your children haven't got the one-to-one correspondence. So our one-to-one correspondence is the most important thing. If you can do lots of practicing of this, brilliant. The next thing would be to be able to give you the correct amount of objects that you ask for. And if they can do all of that confidently to 10, then you can introduce the one more, one less. I hope this helps a little bit. Thank you, and well done so much for all the home learning that you're doing at home, and thank you so much for supporting your children. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.